Have you heard about bone broth, that magical superfood? Maybe you've made it at home before, but it takes a long time on your stove. I'm here to show you a new, quicker way to use an Instapot to make bone broth in 2 hours. So the first ingredient for bone broth is, of course, bones. At Sunny Cove Farm, we have our beautiful grass-fed soup bones and marrow bones, along with chicken feet and chicken necks. You do not have to include the chicken feet and necks if you don't want to. I just find they make a really nice gel. I'm gonna place these in the bottom of the Instapot, and this is an 8-quart, but if you have a 6-quart, it's fine. You just decrease your water, and you could probably get away with a little bit less bones. This is not a recipe. I'm showing you a technique, so feel free to tweak it. It doesn't have to be exact. Next, I'm gonna pour apple cider vinegar over the top of the bones, and this just starts the activation process of breaking down the collagen. I forgot to mention that I use the bones frozen right out of the freezer. If they're thawed, it's fine too, but it's nice to not have to remember to pull them out and thaw them. As I'm cooking throughout the week, I like to save my veggie scraps. Sometimes I put them in a gallon Ziploc bag and store them in the freezer, or other times I just save them on a pie plate like this in my refrigerator until it's time to make broth. So this week I have some celery tops, onion skins, carrot tops, and some fresh herbs that I grabbed from the garden, oregano, rosemary, and lavender for a fun twist. We'll see how it tastes. Second last ingredient is salt. This is completely optional. If you're watching your sodium levels, you can put it on now, you can put it on afterwards, or you don't have to use salt at all. There's plenty of electrolytes in bone broth without the salt. And the last ingredient is water. Now this is an 8-quart Instapot. Even if you have a 6-quart, you'll just adjust your water based on how many ingredients you put in. Like I mentioned before, this is more of a technique than a recipe, but you're gonna fill it to the max line. Next, I'm going to put the lid on and then select pressure cook. On other models, you might have a button that says manual. You can use that one, and then set the timer for 2 hours. Two hours have passed, and I've let this manually release, so now it's time to open it up and check it out. Looks like chicken feet. So when my bone broth is finished, I like to store it in a glass jar in my fridge for 1 to 2 weeks. It keeps really well because it's acidic and is wonderful added to, of course, your soups and stews, but I also like to cook it in rice and drink it hot in the morning. As you can see in my bone broth, there's little particles. You can strain these out if you prefer. It doesn't bother me when I add it, but if you want a cleaner bone broth, strain it through a cheesecloth. If you liked this video and you want to see more, check out our YouTube channel. We've got lots of cooking recipes, lifestyle videos, and so much more from our farm.